Welcome to the burn down, guys.
What's up?
If I feel a little bit, I still got my hospital band on. I had to have chemo today, so if I'm a little bit down on energy, bear with me. Looks like we got about 5 people in the chat.
Yeah, I'm over here playing on my phone trying to copy the link and share it.
Chat build a little bit. I shared it on a few sites already, so they're starting to pour in now. We had like 13 or 14 a minute ago, I think. I got a nice little right here. Added some chat so you guys can see how many people are tuned in watching. If you are in the chat, please say hi, say what's up so we know who's watching. Don't be a creeper. I got to remember to look over at our camera over here. I keep looking at this.
Yeah, I know.
I keep looking over here at the monitor and I forgot we moved the monitors.
I feel bad right now because I'm not looking at all because I'm trying to hurry up and share these.
It's all right. I got 8 people in the chat now. We're going to have an abbreviated burn down tonight, guys.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do, so I don't think we'll have the time to sit here for an hour.
We're actually working right now. I'll give you a sneak peek. It's not going to be long, so you might want to go back and screenshot this if you want a sneak peek at the layout for Wednesday. Kind of.
It's a mess right now, though.
It's a mess, but we're redoing.
That's all you get.
Is that a quad section? What is that back there? Okay, that's enough. That's all you're going to see. Johnny White said, definitely creeping. Oh, here we go. Oh, Frankie's in the house helping us do the rebuild on the layout tonight. I think he's
What's up, Frankie?
wanting to play more than help. Want to play more than help out. You opened a can of worms when you were wrestling with him out in the middle a little bit.
Yeah, I know. He wouldn't stop.
What's up, Mark?
Almost done, guys. We're waiting for people to join the chat anyway, I think.
Sal, what's up, buddy? Sal RC in the house, Mr. Videographer. Love seeing Sal's videos when he posts them.
Yeah.
He's got great thumbnails. He does really good thumbnails for his video.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cash one that he had. So we got Eddie in the house with Rob Polly, PJ Huntington.
PJ's
Scott
already back
Passion.
on. PJ just left. PJ, you're watching and driving. Get off me, Frankie. I'm busy.
Dom says tracks looking very nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I'll give you one more sneak peek, guys. So we got a roller out of a chicane, basically.
And we've got to put the wall ride back together. Right now, you see a lot of bare wood and the wall ride backwards is because we're recarpeting a bunch of stuff,
and the
guys.
wall ride won't be vertical anymore. It'll be horizontal, so it's not very high.
Yeah,
but
the incline isn't as steep.
Yeah,
now.
It's not as steep, and it's more like a berm. So there is no discs or anything up on the wall. The actual corner starts at the very bottom of the wall ride. So the wall ride is actually basically going to be like overflow.
Yeah, if anybody watched any of the Florida race a few weeks ago, they had a nice little berm on the left side of their track. If any of you guys were familiar with that layout, we're somewhat trying to emulate that a little bit. We thought that was a cool idea. Jammer pretty much thought about that before. We just didn't get the wall ride back in time to do it.
Yeah, we were going to do it for the last trophy race, but we just didn't have time to go grab it out of storage.
Then we saw it at Florida and went, oh, man, they stole our idea that we didn't put out.
So it's basically a 24-foot berm section is what it's going to be. It's not going to be like it's sitting now, up and down. It'll be more horizontal and a wider lane. Really cool. We've already drove it, testing some stuff. So the pipe is all down on the layout now. Everything's down almost permanent. We had to move some stuff around just to move jumps around, but we're building a new stair step back section that's going to be really cool. Not so abrupt going up it now. It'll be an actual 8-foot angled lane for the approach now instead of 4-foot. And it'll go up 180, come down and around. Really cool.
Every class should be able to make all the jumps.
Yeah, so the back section is going to be basically you single and then
roller, double.
You double that
single.
center section for 17.5 and truck, but the 21.5 guys might land on top of that tabletop. And then you hit the last one, basically drag brake into that last one.
Yeah. In my truck, I was totally off throttle.
And it hits it perfect.
Yeah, it hits it perfect.
But it's like a triple section for most of us, but it'll be a quad section, tabletop step-off type section.
I can see maybe some odd buggies or maybe some wheelers maybe clearing the whole thing.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, Wheeler might clear that whole back section. That'll be to be determined if it's going to destroy the face of our ramps, whether we allow that or not. It's hard not to allow something like that, but we'll see after Wednesday if we have to space it to keep that from happening.
Right. Also, guys, it's a little bit different. If you take a look at those, it's all right. We went away. So what we've done is you guys noticed that we cut down the bridge and lowered it. So now not only can we use the bridge for a little bitty small wall ride, a bridge, now there's perfect takeoff. So what happens here is they send you out further, much lower to the ground. So when you jump that middle double section, you're really only about a foot off the tabletop now. So it's pretty cool. It makes for like a more speedy.
I will say we've been pampered with having tabletops on all of our double sections.
Yeah.
I call them double still, even though it's a single big tabletop.
Right.
But we've been pampered. So leading up to that first little kicker ramp with no backside to it is a little intimidating.
It is.
Like, even though you know you're going to clear it and land on the landing on the next one, it's a little weird. Like getting used to it. So
but
maybe when it's all
nice.
green, it'll flow even better than what it does. But it's pretty fun, guys. It's
you guys will enjoy it.
Triple section. It's pretty
and
neat.
it's also why we have a warm-up race on Wednesday before the big race on Saturday. So if anything doesn't work, or if something is just a major no and it's a big collective, we don't like that, then we change it. So
all right, let's get right into some burn down topics because we have to go back to work here shortly. We're going to talk about state champs. We're going to talk about the layout. We're going to talk, which we already kind of did. We're going to talk about new formats to come for regular club racing, maybe some mini beats discussion. 17.5 expert. We're not sure if we're adding. We'll talk about that. It might be 17.5 independent added or expert added. Choose which one you want added. But and then we're going to talk about whatever. So let's get right into state champs coming up Saturday. Wednesday will be the warm-up official race. You guys will want to be here because, as the next subject says about the new layout, this is probably looking to be one of my favorite layouts. The technicality mixed with the flow. There's no compromise between one or the other. It's going to have great technicality plus really good racy flow. It's hard to make layouts, guys. Well, we'll talk about that in the layout. So state champs, normal trophy race schedule.
Yeah, qual points.
Qual points is what we're going to decide to do. 3 rounds.
3 rounds.
Your best 2 in single A mains. I've got the plaques being made this week. They look really killer. It's a state, just like on the flyer, it's a state plaque, championship plaque. And we'll discuss the classes here in a little bit. We're possibly going to put it up for vote for a new class to be added. It doesn't take much for me to add trophies for that. But it's looking, we do overlap with another race.
Yeah, on accident.
So, on accident, we didn't realize that there is a CRC factory
Well, I
race.
realized it. I just totally spaced it. Like I said, one of my major hiccups when I came back into this and we started all this was I was away from the hobby for 7 or 8 years, so I wasn't familiar with people's schedules and things like that. So being aggressive and wanting to get our schedule out and be ahead of the game, I accidentally overlapped a few races. Overlapped one of Bill's races, actually 2 of Bill's races, and then we overlapped this big race over at, what is it, factory?
Let me turn that music off. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize the music was playing in the background for you guys. My bad.
Yeah, so what is that race at the factory this weekend? Or CRC? Where's that at?
That's at the factory, yeah.
Factory, yeah.
I think the factory.
Well,
either way, we won't be offended if you guys choose to go to that over our race. We'd love to have our family all here. We call you our family. We'd love to have every racer here, but we understand that some guys might want to go run that big race.
Yeah, I would back in the day if I was a racer.
Maybe. I don't like the big long 3
or 4 day races. No, that's what I was getting ready to get at. One of the things we could probably build on and maybe capture a few more entries this weekend is you don't have to be here for 4 days. So
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or hotel fees and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I love maybe once a year doing a race like that, but and we've discussed having a race like that here at Indy, but I don't see the point of 2 days of practice and qualifying and everything. Like, if you know, within 5 packs, like practice night on Friday, you should know.
I can see 2 days, like maybe a full day of qualifying and then like maybe Sunday morning AAA mains or something like that. But as far as
I'm here, whole day of seeding.
I'm here Thursday practicing. I'm here all day Friday seeding. I got 1 round of qual Friday night. I got 4 rounds of qual Saturday. So you're at a don't get me wrong. We're not trying to complain, guys. We think it's all cool.
It usually ends up whoever in the first round of qualifying, that's your main anyway.
Yeah, because the track's
nobody really bumps up.
And then also, you're there for 4 days for what? 30 minutes of racing?
Yeah.
So that's what I've always kind of struggled with. But like I said, we're not bashing any of that, guys. Don't get me wrong. That's to each their own. It's all really cool. Just my personal thing. Those big races never really appealed to me too much. So the big multiple day races, that is. What else you want to talk about state champs here? Did you mention, you kind of touched on the class thing. I don't know if we're going to introduce it this race.
Well, yeah, we'll
Maybe
introduce the
the February
classes
race.
down the line. I don't want to shoot my wad here. Anybody else have anything to ask about state champs? Mickey will be here, so food will be here. I'm gonna help her out with that, but we're gonna have full-fledged food for everybody. So bring your appetites as well. Um, she's here for the whole week, which is awesome for me because that's my chemo week. So she's here to help out the whole week. Oh, we got Rob, Polly coming over. Yeah, we're in here.
We got them over there slaving away while we're chilling in the trailer now.
They're out there slaving. Rob and Scott Cashin and Eddie and PJ took off, didn't he?
Yeah, PJ took off, but a big shout out to these guys for helping us all the time. Rob's always a big help. Scott Cashin's been here 2 straight days with us.
Yeah.
So
all right, so we will get back to new layout. We discussed that a little bit. I showed you guys the layout. It's gonna be sick, guys. Like I drove on the, I like to call it the pre-layout. We always do a layout and then we make tweaks and then we make more tweaks. And I drove it last night, a couple laps on a battery pack with the way we had it, and it just felt it was lacking about another 10% to get it perfect. And we decided to change the takeoff up to the stair step and around, making a big long transition now. 8-foot transition. Plus we added more of a turnaround lane, so it's not just straight up and around. It flows. It's going to flow really well now.
Yeah, we even changed this side of the track over here, the flat layout part of the track, because we did have it kind of coming off of chicane, but now we're going all the way to the end. And I think it'll flow a lot better. It'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, let me show you guys. I'll give you guys the moving camera tour. So basically, you're going to come right where she's sitting. This will be the front stretch. It'll come all the way down to a pipe. That pipe's moved right now for purposes of
cutting carpet.
So it'll come around the corner. That won't be there. We just put the kicker there for now to test stuff, but it will be just a jump landing into the flat, and it's only about 1.5 foot off the ground jump, but it will be, I've done it with the truck, and you land kind of out by the corner and it lands flat and it's fine. Chad says if he has enough time, he'll build a landing for that as well.
Big
just in
if.
case you
want
to hit the brakes.
Big if, guys.
Big if.
Definitely like next week or two, though.
Yeah. So I drove it with a truck. It actually is really well, but granted, that's a truck. Eddie was going to hit it with a buggy, but we ran out of time last night, so we might make tweaks to that. So you go around that corner, around that disc, around the corner. After this little jump, you'll go around the corner, back at us through the chicane. We'll actually move these chicanes so they're actually proper. Right now, it's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, right now it's just kind of a crude guesstimation of what we're doing. Yeah.
You'll come around the disc, over the loop, into the roller, into the back launch, which was the bridge before, one of the bridge sides, and you will come land on the downside with my 17.5 and with truck. You can land on the downside and immediately hit the upside. So you're not really on the brakes, but you're using the momentum of the car to slow you down into that little 4-foot jump there. You definitely don't want to hit the gas because you'll jump clear past the wall ride. But yeah, you land and then hit the wall ride, and the wall ride, like I said, it will be more of a horizontal layout instead of vertical this time. Those will actually flip down towards us and then go up against the wall. So instead of 8 foot tall, they're going to be 8 foot long and more horizontal. And the apex of those corners down there where that bucket is will be actually right at the very entrance of the curve. So you don't have to drive up on the wall ride if you stay right by the pipe. It's the wall ride is just going to be excess berm overflow.
Yeah, you'll your momentum will probably carry you up onto the wall ride.
Yeah. If you're right on the pipes like Dom Reese always is, he'll be right around the bottom. So
Mr.
and then you come off of that. Those will all move over to the left, obviously. You come off of that into this lane that we have right there.
Coming back at you.
And then you turn to the right on the camera, but you'll be turning left around a little mini sweeper 290 degrees, and then up that 8-foot ramp that you got there around, what is that? 4 times, so 16 foot of tabletop, guys, 8 by 16 foot around the cowbell, straight down at you. And then around, there's a little 4-foot section right here that you can either hug it tight on that wall and jump off the 4-foot section, or if you overflow, you go down to the ground, the lengthwise, but you come to this disc And then this is a pretty cool section right here, guys. We have it's a little mini tabletop pie section,
Yeah, kind of
and
speed
you
section. You
actually hit
actually,
it at an
yeah,
angle, and you can over jump. You can jump over the table, the pie, and land on the landing
yeah, it's actually pretty slick.
to come right back down the straightaway here.
The first time you come flying through there and hit it, though, it's like, oh, it's a big pucker moment. But you find out really quickly that it's really easy to maneuver. Your car sticks there, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, any questions on the new layout? Doesn't look like we have anybody chiming in about new layout stuff.
No, not right
We
now.
actually took. Let me see that right there. We actually took into fact some of the the complaints that we had about the wall ride, and we took those into effect. And I know a little guy at home might be heartbroken, but I took this into effect too. And I think this is going in as soon as we plan out some of the jumps that he wanted. But Talon Snyder came up with a layout for us. And yes, buddy, we are taking it into consideration and we're trying to make it work. We're not going to make it work for this state champ layout, but we this is going into the file system and we're going to figure out a way to give Talon his own racetrack race. I think that would be pretty cool. He took some time to do a layout for us, which I think is pretty neat. All right. Next
Thanks, Mav. He is watching. Right on, Talon.
New formats.
Well,
we've taken a lot of
really
consideration for this too from people.
Yeah, this has been a subject of debate. Between some of the hardcore racers and some of the newer guys, and really, it's just kind of to each their own. A lot of people can't wait to get to the track all week long, and then they get mad when people want to hurry up and leave and blah 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 blah. I guess basically what we're trying to say is I think we don't think we know we're going to switch to 2 quals on Saturdays, guys. We're going to go to 2 quals and mains on Saturdays, and we're going to probably stay rocket rounds for club racing.
Yep.
The reason for this is as race director, and nobody's really complained to me or anything, but every Saturday just about, and sometimes on Wednesday, because I understand on Wednesdays, but Saturdays. This last Saturday, I watched about 10 guys walk out because it was running too late. They have prior engagements, kids, things like that. So I think that they're here at the track just a little bit too long, and I think that if we kind of ease up a little bit of that time, I think the hardcore racers are going to come whether we run 5 rounds or 1 round of quals. And then I think so if we shorten the program up a little bit, it's going to allow a lot more people to make it, and I think ultimately we'll have more entries, and it'll also allow us to maybe throw in expert buggy or throw in those little nuances to help the racing a little bit better and people progress and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of what your thought was.
You guys got some input with that?
I know that we fought it and fought it and fought it, and some people were suggesting it, and we fought it and fought it and fought it because, like I said, my thinking the whole entire time, I'm going to repeat myself again, is I wait all week long to get to the track, and I don't want to hurry up and go home. But now that I've been on the other side of the booth and I'm watching and I see people that can't come because, we're here too late and things like that, I think it's going to be a lot better.
So do we have same start time?
Yeah, same start time. Yeah. Yeah, right. All the scheduling and start times are all going to stay the same. I can't see us starting. Although I would like to start early on Saturdays now because I don't work Saturdays anymore. I guess Saturdays getting here used to be a big deal. I do still think we have a handful of guys.
It's a mixed bag. I have guys that say the program, they wish it started earlier. And then I have guys that say, well, I can't make it in time and I wish it started later. So,
well, that's just one of those things
I think we just compromise and do a 2 round. It kind of makes it, you don't have to start earlier, but it ends later. Yeah, so it ends earlier.
It's kind of 6 in one, half dozen in the other. Really,
Mav says he likes it. Great. Yeah. I like it.
So,
we're going to try it, guys. We're always willing to switch things up, try things. That's what it's all about. For racers, by racers. That's our motto. So,
plus I think, we keep these special qualifying formats and these 3, 4, 6 round day races for the big trophy races and stuff. I think that way we're not wearing everybody out. I just think that this decision.
Mark says, thank you. I'll do more Saturdays with a shorter program.
Thank you. Good. See, that's what I'm talking about right there, guys. We have a handful of guys and we also have a handful of guys that still come out and bear through it, even though that, maybe they're getting some grief at home from the boss, or maybe the kids don't want to be here that long and stuff like that. So I really think that this will just work out better for all of us involved. So.
All right. If nobody else wants to comment on that, we can go to the next topic of
well, while we're on that, sorry, don't let me. Yeah. Now I don't think we'll ever change this, but what do people feel about Sundays? And the only reason why I say that is because, now granted, I believe my opinion was the reason why we had that good turnout after the holidays, because most people were on vacation Monday, probably. Mm-hmm. It was after a holiday. People wanted to play with their toys. But if we were to race on a Sunday, we're not competing against any other tracks.
No, but we can't go run oval
Yeah,
anymore.
that's right. Okay, never mind.
All that
We're gonna be
investment.
selfish.
We just invested
I forgot.
about $1,000 in oval cars.
Okay, never mind. Throw that out the window. We're gonna be selfish. I'm just kidding,
And I
guys.
encourage anybody to get an oval slash and go over there with us.
We've been having a blast over
We have
there,
a
to be
whole turf
honest.
burner row that we just set up
Yep,
over there and,
yep.
and have fun. So
all of us with our TB shirts on and our custom painted bodies and stuff. And really, one of the more fun things to me, and it's not even me doing it, it's you, is all how you're helping all the other racers over there, and how when we first started walking in there, we would beat them so bad you could just feel the collective sigh through the room, like, oh man.
did you see Jordan Gonder
Yeah,
yesterday?
all the way from the back.
Yeah,
I
he
seen
pulled a
that.
Jamie.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know if he did that on purpose or what.
I
but
was going to ask him on Facebook. I really do. But man, now when we walk in the building and they see Jammer, they all get excited. And they're bringing their cars over, and Jammer's helping them. And Jammer's got about 7, 8, maybe 10 of these guys a lot faster now. So the competition.
It's helped out the competition over there, which is awesome. They didn't really have anybody. Not that the fast guys were being secretive about their setups, but I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Come take my car to your house and measure it and work on it and see what we're doing. We're not doing anything special. I just want everybody to be fast. So
yeah, we you and I are of the same mind when it comes to that. The more people that are faster, the better it's going to make us, and the more fun it makes racing. Because I don't know about you, I don't like winning every single time.
I don't want to go there and lap them all 3 laps, every single week. I like it when they're all fast. It made it a little more intense. So yeah, that's a new format is up for trial period, I would say, guys.
Yeah. Shane said 2 days. What mean 2 days? 2-day races?
Shane said 2 day, like he would want a 2-day race. I don't have a problem with a big, maybe that our big
like
Midwest
year,
race is a 2-day race. And actually this race is a 2-day race.
What race?
This weekend. I mean, it's Friday practice and Saturday racing.
Well, I mean, if you consider that, all of our races are 2-day races because we always have practice on Friday.
Yeah.
But the thing with that is you're not obligated to be here.
Yeah,
you know
we actually did that for you guys, Amy, like the out of towners not having 2-day races. That way you don't have to travel 2 days or buy hotels just for a qualifier.
Yeah, Josh, if we ran on Sundays, we'd start at like noon or 1. But that's a big, huge if. I don't think that we would ever go to Sundays, to be honest.
So, all right. Let me put 5 on the clock, guys, for Mini B. We don't need to talk about this for 5 minutes, obviously, but I know there's like 6 or 7 Mini Bs out there. And I'm going to go ahead and commit right now and say that we and Chad talked about it.
Josh says Saturday and Sunday both. Sorry, Jammer. I'm so bad
Saturday,
at cutting
Sunday
Jammer
both.
off when I'm in here.
Saturday, Sunday both. I'm not afraid to go ahead and make plaques, guys, for this trophy race. Now, if they don't show up and there's not 4, we're not going to run them, and I'm just going to throw the plaques in the garbage because it's not worth running 4 cars with marshals problems and with program length and stuff like that. But I want to see at least 5, let's say 5 at least to run the trophy race. But I'll make the trophies, guys. If you have Mini Bs and you know somebody, I'm putting it on you to let those guys not watching this program right now, let those Mini B guys know, bring your Mini Bs to the trophy race. So if you have the Mini Bs, John Cashin, Matt Summers, Steger, I know Justin Green has one.
I know has one, I think.
Yeah, somebody else bought one and was building it. Chuck Hayes built one, I think, or had one.
Chuck won it in the drawing and then sold it to John Cashin's dad, and John Cashin's dad gave it to him for Christmas.
Oh, that's the one? Okay.
Yeah, so the one that was clearing all the tabletops was the one that we raffled off. Billy Kelly. Mini B has been running at 3 tracks I'm racing at.
Don't make trophies and use your merchandise. We could, but I want to make the Mini B feel, guys, like it doesn't. I've got room on the sheets that I buy. I have to fill out the sheets anyway, the 4x8 sheets of this stuff. So I've got room for a few more trophies.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that. It's not something we're going out of the way to do. It just so happens that the way this plaque is shaped, Jammer can fit more layouts or whatever on each sheet of whatever it is you're doing. Basically, he can make more trophies this time.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get as many.
And I'm not opposed to throwing in for the first couple races if you guys have mini T's that you want to throw down with the Mini B's. I don't think that would be a problem with anybody either.
I mean, while we're talking about that, I mean, I guess we could probably wait till the whatever for this, but me and Jammer were talking about how we're not big fans of combining the classes.
Yeah, and that's where the next topic will come in the subject here in a minute. Anybody got any questions or discussions on Mini Bs? Any Mini B drivers in the house?
Look, I'm over here.
now?
I'm over here petting Frankie, but you can't see him, so it doesn't look. What am I doing on the camera?
What are you doing down there?
Oh man.
Mini plaques for mini cars.
Oh man, that's funny. Not a bad idea. You could probably get more plaques out of it if you did that too.
Yeah. Problem is, I'd only do top 3, and only 3 would show up probably.
Yeah,
So
I know, right?
we need to get a. I mean, I know there's 7 or 8 guys that have them. So if you guys all just showed up,
Tell Heidi we said thanks, Justin.
thank you. Mickey appreciates the help when she's in there. I know Chad's girlfriend appreciates the help. I appreciate it on Wednesdays when nobody's here to help.
Dr. Evil. Why am I Dr. Evil?
Because you're petting stroking your evil cat. Oh, Tristan's goodies. Oh,
dude, those turtle things you guys make, the caramel. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, tell her to keep those Buckeyes away from me. All right. One of the last topics here, 17.5 expert. Now, this is on here as 17.5 expert, but it could also be on here as 75 intermediate.
I use a 12-footer.
So what we have discussed is we don't want to force guys out of 17 or out of 21.5. There's guys that are constantly winning in 21.5 that don't feel like they're competitive in 17.5.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to do, and I want to do it at the trophy races, we'll offer it at club races as well, but we want to add a 17.5, not intermediate, but 17.5 independent is what they call it. It's an independent class. That means if you don't have sponsors, you can run this class. If you don't feel like you're cherry picking the 21.5 and beating up on those guys, you can move up to this class. And then we'll have a 17.5 expert class for your Kales, your Wyatts, your Eddies, your Dom Reeses, me, Chad. I'm going to throw myself in there. Like the guys that are constantly in the A main that you feel, man, I don't want to run 17.5 because I won't make an A main with all those guys there. They're like pro level sponsored drivers that you got all through the house. So we're going to, call it either way. We're creating an expert class or we're creating an intermediate class. Either way, there will be another 17.5 buggy class. We have enough entries that we can pull some out of the 21.5 and some out of the 17.5, and we'll still have big classes. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to club racing, if there's not enough to split that 17.5 division in two, it will all run together and you guys at a club race.
Yeah, as long as you're not in the expert or sponsored, because we're going to make the sponsored drivers.
You can step back down.
You can step back down as long as you're not in the expert.
So I know, like Josh Heidi, and there's a couple other guys.
You guys can also move up whenever you want.
Who is it that runs double? They want to run 17.5 and 21.5.
Randy Wells was doing it for a while. I think Heidi did it for a while. Someone else did it.
You guys will still have the option, in my mind, if on a club night, if you want to end up running with 17.5 or just resolder a 21.5 motor in and run 21.5 for that day.
Yeah.
But for big trophy races, you can plan on, hey, I have now a dedicated, let me get my feet wet in 17.5 before I jump into the big boys 17.5. Mm-hmm. And I'm not feeling like I'm in their way. So they're getting mad at me in qualifying. Mm-hmm. I'm in a class that I can actually go maybe try to podium in. Mm-hmm. And I'm in a class that I'm not feeling like I'm cherry picking the 21.5 guys coming out of novice.
Right. I think that Indy, the Indy class, intermediate, whatever you want to call it, I think that's a good solution for the top 21.5 guys to go ahead and move on up. Because I mean, here's the thing with the 21.5 class. Don't get me wrong, it's really cool and there's nothing wrong with it. It's you get a mixture.
I'm sure the guys that are beating it by 2 laps want something else, but it's just too big of a jump.
Yeah, it's too big of a jump. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to touch on.
So we're not hitting on anybody specific, but I could name a few that are constantly at the very top step of 21.5 and 2 laps ahead of the field sometimes in qualifying. And it's like, I know that they
can compete, but they'll be 2 or 3 laps down from us probably.
Yeah, and and not to say that they're a bad driver or anything. Maybe they're just not a diehard in here every week, or and this is a good way to get their feet wet with the speed and because it does take a lot of changeover, throttle wise and control wise to hit jumps from a 21 to a 17.5.
I would almost say the 21.5 car, because you don't have the power to pull yourself out of mistakes, is probably more difficult to actually get around the track. It's all about racing lines and
this layout,
momentum.
Guys. 21.5 guys, you guys are going to be ecstatic with this layout. Yes. You will be able to hit mostly everything on this layout, full pop and no wreckage.
So touching back on that, if you're sponsored, you're going to be in the 17.5 expert if you're running 17.5. If you're sponsored, you probably should be running 21.5 anyway.
Yeah.
Guys, we got to start policing ourselves just a little bit better on this. Nobody's really complaining or threatening to quit or anything like that, but There is probably, I would say, top 7,
There's
10.
just not kind of a spot for the mid-packer 21.5 guys right now.
Yeah.
And that's our biggest class. We're
Yeah.
getting 2 to 3 flights of that sometimes at big races. And it's like, we're not going to let them run novice.
No.
And now it's getting to where it's hard to make the A main in 21.5 for some of these guys. And it kind of discourages them. Like,
well, why'd I even buy this car? Yeah, I bought this under the guys that I thought I was going to be able to compete, and I still can't compete.
Like I always go back, for racers by racers. This isn't coming from a decision from us because it doesn't matter to us. It doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect me in any way. It might make the qualifying a little bit more clear,
more clean
for 17.5 expert. But it was a lot of input that we got from 21.5 guys and some of the mid-packer 17.5 guys, and we're trying to please everyone, and I think this is a really good way to try to do it.
About it right there.
Yeah, it says Kyle says I agree with this. Sal likes it. Kyle Brummett,
yep.
Yeah, agreed with it. Okay.
Yeah, and also I know those guys that are out front in the 21.5, because what happens in 21.5 is you get a big there's a big competition level difference. The guys at the top are good, clean drivers, and the guys at the bottom are maybe just starting, or they're so what's happening is you got good, clean drivers that get mixed in with drivers that don't know how to get it out of the way yet. They're still learning etiquette, and it causes a lot of
Anybody else want to hit on this subject if you're in there? I don't see the carries chiming in anywhere, and I know they got to be in here. I figure this would be a good one for them to chime in on. I think they would be all for it. What's harder
to do, Mav?
Elaborate a little bit. Yeah, it's not fun being a pack filler.
No.
We agree. I mean, I don't believe in making classes just for guys to win in, but I also think that the gap was too big to go from 21.5 to 17.5 on our level. Now, you take any of our 17.5 guys, I'm adamant. If you take them anywhere in the country, they're going to podium or
do
well,
be
in the top
do really
A main.
Well. Yeah.
Any of our 17.5 top guys. So
and
that's saying a lot, getting a 21.5 guy to step into that world.
It's a good thing to have all that competition, but it can hurt you too. You know what I mean? Because people come in and they go, "Oh man, those guys are so good. I can't compete. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars doing that." So
I think it'll be good.
So
the takeaway from this is I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. I don't think you have a problem with it. Making trophies for those two classes, Mini B and 17.5 independent. If not enough interest is there, we could even try it Wednesday if there's enough interest and we fill the house full of people Wednesday. We can try it Wednesday. So this is your warning to have a 17.5 ready if you want to try it. If you guys come out in full force and want to do it, then we'll try it Wednesday. And then we'll go straight into, I'll have plaques made for the race. If we don't do it, we'll go back to a full 17.5 class and I'll just shelf the plaques.
No, you're absolutely right, Mav. Some of the guys don't want to move up, but here's the thing though. You can't have somebody dominating a class that's supposed to be an intermediate class. So at some point in time, we have to step in and delegate.
Yeah.
So
there was some tracks I saw discussion this week where it's like, in 21.5, one and done. You win one time and you're out.
No, that's too much.
That's like, well, in 5 weeks we would have no class left.
Yeah. Well,
who's going to keep filling those spots every week?
Who's going to buy a $150 motor to race one time?
Yeah, and win. Yeah. And then even a 3-win race. And it's just got to be a self deal. Right. We're not going to.
We still want you guys to police yourself. We're not going to make anybody do anything. But if you're in the expert level, you're not running the other classes. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't.
I think where this would benefit drivers would be like Matt Summers, amazing driver, and he's winning everything in 21.5. It seems like, unless he crashes. I'm not going to call Matt out, but I would never make Matt jump up to 17.5 expert either.
No.
So I think this is perfect for a guy like Matt that wants to go out and run a 17.5 and clear the big jumps and compete on a faster car.
But speaking of Matt, I don't think a whole lot of people know this. You may remember I did this a few months ago, but I just went back and did it again. I'm running an overall point tally for every single race that's ever been in here. Matt Summers is pretty much close to number 1, and he's probably only raced half the time.
Out of everybody?
I think he's like 2 or 3 overall. Wow. And he's raced probably 10 or 12 races, and he's won almost every one. So. Yeah.
I think his talent level exceeds 21.5, but it like he probably just doesn't have fun running against all the 17.5 guys right now.
Well, and I think
this is going to be a 17.5 what it'll be is a 17.5 top podium class from 21.5.
Yeah.
All those guys will
Yep.
probably jump into this class.
Which is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Is what
I'm hoping we don't dilute 17.5 too much.
Yeah, because, you know, the 21.5, I really love that class and the way it's growing. We're proud of it. I think it's really cool. But also to keep it alive, we've got to keep, you know, the once the guys do get to the level to where they can't fit it anymore, we've got to nudge them along.
I don't think that, Josh, I think that would open up too much speed differences on the track and cause too much problems. A 17.5 coming up on a 21.5 down the straightaway would just cause havoc, especially in an intermediate class.
That's one of the problems that I have with mixing 21.5 with 17.5. Jammer wanted to allow him to.
Frankie's right there, Mom.
Yeah, I'm petting him. You can't see him. Here he is.
Chad's not petting himself.
He's over here sleeping. But yeah, what was that? What were we talking about? 17. What did Josh say? I kind of lost track there.
Independent class could have guys mixed motors, some running 21 and some running 17.5.
Jammer kind of touched on a few months ago back, when we started all this 21.5 stuff and blah 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 blah. I mean, but we started that when we started the track, but he wanted to run some of them together, and we thought at first it wouldn't be that big a deal, but after I got to watching, the speed difference is just too much.
Yeah, it was the reason and the decision that we actually split and ran no mod 4-wheel drive buggy, and we went to 13.5 buggy, was because the speed differences in different parts of the track were so bad that you could get run over in the straightaway really easily and not like the guy didn't mean to run you over. You were just so much slower in the straightaway, and it would cause just issues that we're trying to avoid.
Yeah. Guys, what we're trying to do here is provide the best possible quality racing atmosphere.
The best scenario possible. And I think that's good.
And we know we're flirting with diluting stuff. We get it. We understand all that. I mean, when we make these decisions, guys, it's not something that we do on a whim, even though it may seem like it to you, because we're so willing to change things. I think more often than other tracks are, just because we're so open-minded. So.
And we can flow into whatever if you guys want to talk more about this subject. But this is your chance, guys, to put out there anything that you want to talk about. We're at 46 minutes right now with this video. We try to keep it under an hour. So if you got any questions, now's your time.
Plus, we need to get back to work.
Yeah, that's where we need to get back to work, getting this track prep for you guys. We're over here lounging, drinking our soda pops while these guys are working for us.
Butts off.
So anything else anybody wants to discuss? Now's your chance. Chime in now, guys.
I'm glad everybody is on board with the 2 quals. I'm glad everybody, well, not everybody, because obviously not everybody's in the room.
Thanks, Jason. What do you guys think of the new little view count on the screen
31 now?
Yeah, 31. That's my favorite number.
I have noticed that since we went to YouTube, they kind of seem to cycle in a little slower. But maybe it'll take a few weeks for people to get kind of used to it.
Well, I'm posting is the post the alerts working for YouTube and Facebook, because I'm posting on Facebook too whenever we go live.
We were up to like 76 subscribers or something like that on YouTube last time I looked too.
See this? I post Burn Down Live, and I post a link, so all you do is click the video.
Yeah, I just copy your link and spread it around the internet is what I do. So.
All right, no other questions, guys? Once again, we appreciate everybody's attendance lately. It's very comforting knowing that we don't have to stress about attendance, and we just leave it in your hands, and we have such loyal customers. We know there's other options around, up north, down south, out east. We know that we don't take it for granted, the loyalty of our customers. At least I definitely don't take it for granted at all. And that's why you see these changes that we're implementing all the time. Just to let you know, we went out, and I don't know if I can show you a roll or not, but
we just purchased a full roll of carpet.
Yeah.
You might be able to get the tail end of it. Right, there it is. Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have a full roll unopened, and that was about $1,000, guys, that we just went and spent to redo most of all the jumps in the house that were tore up. All the landings, you can see we've ripped it off all the wall ride, the landings on both landings, some takeoffs, some platforms all have new carpet now.
We were very well aware.
You will not see a piece of tape on a jump when you come back in here Wednesday.
Yeah, other than what's holding it to the floor.
Yep, and the plan, guys, is we've talked about before. In April, I started a savings account actually, so we don't even have to worry about money. We put money in each month, and by the time we hit April, when the floor warms up, we are going to lay the entire floor with new turf. So our jumps will be new turf. We'll lay the entire floor with new turf, and at that time, we might assess some more jumps. And by April-ish, we should have fresh in the building again. So that's
Mhm.
the plan moving forward is once a year, redo the floor.
And we have to redo the floor in the summer because the carpet, the way it
The way that the heats
spreads
up.
out and contracts and
If we
stuff.
were to do
Yeah.
it in the winter right now, by the time it got to the summer, it would be all floppy and
And
have to
we
be
had rolls
restretched.
in it and stuff like that. And like Jimmer touched on this, I think last week in the burn down when I was sitting at home watching. That's why you guys are seeing the wrinkles and the rolls in the carpet right now. So because of weather changing and the
weather
carpet
changing the floor.
stretching
But
out and stuff.
we did have a discussion, and Eddie Rogers actually came up with a good idea that I really didn't even really think about. But to improve the quality of softness of the concrete,
Just lay it over the
we're
top.
gonna lay the new carpet in April right over the top of this, so it'll be double thick. So it should be a little softer on flat landings when you do land in the flat on parts. And why take this carpet up? Let's just lay right over the top of it. That'll be an actual insulation from the cold
Yeah.
and the heat too
Yeah.
for the weather change of the concrete.
Yeah, I mean, any kind of cushion we can get off that concrete would be nice. We get it that we're running on concrete. We understand. It's in order to afford a underlayment floor here, subflooring would be outrageous. I mean, 100 and what are we? Almost a
It's
6,000
6,000
square
square
foot
feet.
track.
Yeah,
So
just the track. Kyle says I'm down for 40 and over class. I'm down for that too.
yeah,
But
me too.
we kind of shot it in the foot for this race. Maybe for
Yeah.
that big, huge Midwest
February,
race that we're
yeah.
gonna have in February. Maybe.
Here's the thing about the 40 and over, though. If you think about it, most of the A main in 17.5 is 40.
40 and
I'm
over.
45. I'll
What
be
would we
45
make it?
10th.
Would we make it 17.5
Well, yeah.
or 40 and over open buggy?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
So then mod guys that are 40 and over could jump in.
They're scared. But you're 45. I'm 45. Eddie's over 40. I mean, we got a lot of 40. Dom's over 40, isn't he?
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for the compliment. Track open Saturday at
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Racing starts at 1.
Yep, early race. It's on our first post on our Facebook page. It tells what the trophy race schedule is when we open and close for that.
Yep. Friday open practice 4 p.m. 10 p.m. It is $10, guys. $10 for practice. The only reason why I'm stressing that is because the last few times we've had open practice on Fridays, nobody's paying. People are coming in and playing and getting caught up and not coming over and paying. I think
it's only $10, but we can't afford to open the building.
It's about $350 a day for us to operate this building, guys. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So
with heat and electric and just our time coming in anyway. I love doing this and I do it for fun. I don't do it for the money because we're definitely not taking any money for ourselves
not
out
of
this place.
We get the occasional perk from the hobby shop or something, maybe.
We'll occasionally agree, like, all right, man, I want to buy some new tires. Okay, you can buy new tires. I'll buy new tires. We'll take it out of TurfBurner, some of the money, and that's what our payment usually is.
The fueling station sponsors us, so that's why we got to rent an expert because we're sponsored by the fueling
station. Usually, whatever the fueling station makes on food, we kind of allot to me and him. Fuel our little addiction,
and that really truly is all we get back, monetary
wise. We don't take weekly payments or cash out of the business at all.
No, it's just seeing everybody having
our cash that we take out goes straight to Eddie.
Yeah, it really does, honestly.
And we actually work it out with race fees with Eddie too, so it works out pretty well for him.
And I know it sounds pretty routine and stuff for us to say this, but I know Jammer feels the same way I do. Man, when we're over here and he's in the booth doing his thing and I'm up there in my booth doing my thing and you guys are up there laughing and hooting and hollering on the stand,
that's all I care about.
That's the best thing possible.
Yeah. So that's why we try to that's why we addressed the marshaling issue and we eliminated 2 spots. Yep. So
we just want everybody to come here and have a good time. We want, obviously we're racing and that's stressful just because we're competing, but man, we just want people to come here and have a good time. Tell everybody how much fun they had and, how laid back it is. And
Amy, yes, she says, let's sharpen up control practice. Amy, we don't have a problem with doing timed controlled practice for every race when there's more people up there that need to get up there. 4 minutes on, 2 minutes off, 4 minutes on, 2 minutes off. That's easy for us to do. But for us to actually have classes controlled, that's a trophy race thing only. And we will do that at this trophy race. Chad usually says novice, buggies, trucks. We kind of separate it in that aspect. And even if there's enough four-wheel buggies in the house, we'll give them their own session. So doing that is not a problem. Yes, I agree. We do controlled practice with classes for the big races and just timed controlled practices for club racing if it's big enough on Saturdays.
Yeah, the thing that the thing that starts happening is in one of the downfalls of controlled practices. Sometimes you'll have 4-minute runs with 2 guys on the stand.
Yeah.
So I mean, so when that starts happening,
I am in agreement that controlled practice needs to go to 8 drivers at a time instead of 10.
You think so? That way it's a little bit more organized and less chaotic on the stand and
8,
stuff.
if not even 6. I mean, but
well, we need to
I say 8, and everybody has to at least 6 of those 8 have to go out and marshal.
Well,
every
how
time
about
too.
I've got an idea. How would people feel? And I mean, honestly, it would really matter how they feel. I don't mean to sound like a poopy head like that, but this is what I used to do at Indy Slots when I was running races over there when we built the outdoor track. The first couple big races we had over there, I didn't make them, but I called everybody up for controlled practice by name,
like a seating round.
Okay,
but not scored.
Right,
A non-scored
you're not
seating
scored, nothing
round.
like that. But they didn't get called up unless they had come over here and signed up. See what I'm saying?
That puts more work on you when you're trying to work on your car, do stuff during practice.
Actually, not really, because everybody comes and signs up the last 20 minutes. That's harder than if they come and signed up all day long, 1 or 2 at a time. You know what I mean? So really, it's kind of 6 in one, half dozen in the other. So, I mean, what would you suggest, Amy? What is Shane sitting around?
She said driving isn't the problem, marshaling is the problem. So yes, I agree. After you get done, I mean, half the time I see Amy out there and she's pregnant trying to marshal, and I'm like, get off the track, Amy.
I know, especially here lately, because I mean, if someone hits her, I'm going to be really upset. So.
Well, we're at 1 hour, guys. I think that's all I got. We need to get back to working on the track. So thank you for tuning in. We will see diehards out here Wednesday. You'll want to be here for this layout and get some hot laps in. There might be a couple tweaks after Wednesday. Keep that in mind. So don't be upset if we do tweak a couple things from learning experience on Wednesday. But I don't think we're going to have many changes. It looks pretty flowy, pretty fast, pretty technical, all the good stuff, guys.
Everything seems to work pretty good. So.
All
right, guys.
Thank you
have
for
a good
tuning
night.
in.
Thanks for tuning in. See ya.